and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Q2 FY24 results conference call of Network People Services Technologies Limited, hosted by Kirin Advisors. As a reminder, all participant line will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that the conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Gopal Chandak, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. On behalf of Kirin Advisors, I welcome you all to Network People Services Technologies Limited H1 FY24 concall. From the management side, we have Mr. Deepak Thakur, Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. Ashish Agrawal, Joint Managing Director. Now I hand over call to Mr. Deepak Thakur, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thanks, Gopal, and thanks everyone for joining. Like I always say that this is an opportunity where NPSC gets to connect with their shareholders and get the first-hand, feel of how our performance or how our behavior, is taken up in market. So your contribution really helps us, take it forward from here on. Every time we connect. I think this is 4th quarterly call right now, back to back, and happy to connect with you guys once again. So today what I'll do is I'll give my presentation in 3 areas. One is let us understand the numbers that we have posted yet for half yearly as well as quarterly. Let us have a deeper understanding of that. Second, I'll give you an idea about what the business looks right now, what exactly we are doing. And then I can take you through some future plans which will help you further understand how your organization is actually going forward. So this way, you can actually assess and, be more confident of the organization, of course. So, very first thing, the results are out. I think all of you have already gone through it. Quickly, I'll, give you a brief summary of how your half-yearly results looks like and, how the quarterly result looks like. Very proud and very happy to share that, the half-yearly number for FY24 is massive improvement over last half-yearly FY23. Our revenue has grown by 464%, which was 9.4 crore last year is now 53.32 crore. So this is really good. We are seeing good impact on top line thanks to my team. Your EBITDA, in fact, has gone up by 650%, which is again, a big jump from 2.32 crore to about 17.41%. But the interesting piece is that the EBITDA margin has also improved. So it's improved from 24.57% to about 32.65% this half yearly. And furthermore, if you look at net profit before tax, it has gone up from 1.21 crore to about 13.60 crore. It's about 1,023% increase. So let's look at the interesting pieces that as and when you're going closer to profit, your numbers are only growing. So revenue has grown by 464%, but EBITDA further has grown by 650%, and profit before tax has grown by 1,024%. So we are just seeing that how our non-linear approach is impacting our P&L. So that's something remarkably coming out from our strategy. And I think last year we were asked about EPS as well when we were on the first quarterly call, Q3 last year, somewhere that time. So it has gone up from 1.35 rupees to about 15.72, which is again 1,065% increase on the EPS that we are giving now. At the same time, if we look at the overall Q1 to Q2 comparison. Again, last Q1 we were told that we are doing, and numbers have come out really well, which was about 24.88 crore. And the pertinent question and the consistent question that came to us was whether you will sustain this number. So we were fair and we said that our intent is not just to sustain, our intent is also to look at the incremental impact and how we can take it further. So if you compare our numbers, so we have actually posted about 28.42 crore against 24.88 crore, which is again 14.2% jump quarterly on revenue. But at the same time, like I said, EBITDA has only improved from 7.9 to about 9.5 crore. So the quarterly change of revenue is about 14.2, but your EBITDA is 20.2. And net profit before tax has a similar impact, which has gone from 6.21 to about 7.4, almost about 19.16% increase. Yeah, so I think this sums up on how the company has performed. Our consistent endeavor is to only improve here on. All the efforts are on. The focus is on business as always. The focus is on innovation, like our tagline itself says, innovation in every bite. Our focus is on further looking at what more we can do around digital payments as the business around this segment is bound to increase. I believe that whatever efforts we have taken in last decade, so by the way, congratulations, your company has completed 10 years in business. 4th October was our 10th anniversary. And here onwards, we are looking for the new decade. We have obviously new horizons to look at and relook at how our growth should be panned out. So yeah, so like I said that, so every time we look at these numbers, we have to look at the new benchmark. The business around, digital payments have only grown because we see that coming decade or even beyond that belongs to Fintech. It belongs to the payment technology. It belongs to the segment that we are operating in. So good to be at this space thanks to 10 years of efforts to be here. And that has been one of the critical factors for our consistent, opportunity for the company coming in from both the business segments. Now, coming back to the business, so we are currently executing about 4 bank orders, which we got somewhere, in Q4 last year and Q1, in fact, this year. So we are in execution, and in fact, in Q2 as well. You know that, from my quarterly calls earlier also, I have given you an idea how the sales cycle of banking business works, and what is the, overall time taken for it. So our team is currently executing orders of multiple sizes, multiple products for 4 banks, which we see having a good impact on the organization in maybe 2 quarters later. At the same time, on the API business, we are also, so the tech piece is done. We are now working on setting up the business roadmap, POC, as well as the operating journey for the new APIs. So we believe that this quarter is key for setting up the opportunities that we see coming from the new APIs. At the same time, our focus will be continuous on the horizontal as well as vertical growth strategy. When I talk about new APIs, we are actually targeting certain business segments which are non-existent in our existing set of APIs. The idea is to improve the horizon and at the same time, see whether we are able to reach out to the new segment in the market where we can get better, more opportunities. Our vertical growth is well planned businesses. Funnel looks good for now. We see impact coming in, maybe 2 quarters later, considering the sales cycle. When it comes to future business, like I said, horizontally, we have now the product team in place, which we have invested in Q1 on and also last year Q4. So the team is in place. We see good and strong product roadmap coming in from them. We are going very aggressive on this product roadmap so that every quarter we have something to place. At the same time, when it comes to business acquisition, we invested heavy last quarter on a global Fintech test. Got a great insight on the industry. Also got a lot of inquiries coming in from various segments in the market for the products that we built. There was about 6 product launches we did in the Fintech test. Some will be going on POC stage right now with the first customers. Maybe, that's where we are working out on those inquiries. At the same time, we also see that, this inquiry further adding to our funnel. So on the business acquisition side, like I said, we are going aggressive. We are investing on such events. We are investing on our team. And at the same time, we are also trying to see how we can actually pull out from the accounts that we already have. So that's how we see the coming quarter being very engaging for the company. One more important point that I want to share is I think last meeting, I don't know if it was AGM or the quarterly call, we were asked about lot split. So I hope everyone are aware that from 30th of October, you will be able to trade at a lot of 100 rather than 400. Our intent is to ensure that our shareholders are able to get that particular opportunity around affordability of the size that we have right now. So yeah, that is one area that you should be happy about. Furthermore, there are businesses that we have acquired for which we continuously keep posting on NSE. RCS continuously does that job. We have already declared about Bank of Maharashtra order. I think that was the earliest quarter. But this time we got State Bank of Mauritius India Limited order as well. So that's a big order which will have an impact across TSP as well as API business. When I say big order, I'm talking about the kind of doors it opens for the organization across various segments that we are trying to look at. So yeah, that's on the business side. I think beyond this, let us get into Q&A if more time to our shareholders so that they can ask their questions if at all they have more, they need more clarity. I'll continue to give you insight on the business, and Ashish will join me for any clarity on P&L, balance sheet, or any numbers that you want to pick up from our folks. Who's gonna take this up? Is it Akshay or Gopal?
Akshay.
Yeah, Akshay. Yeah, please carry on. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We'll now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touch-tone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handset while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Sahil Sharma from SS Capital. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Hello, sir. Thank you for giving the opportunity and congratulations on a great set of numbers. If you look at our app, which is Timepay, it is a sort of a B2C app, right? I wanted to understand what is the exact use case for this, because what I also see is that the number of installs on Android are very, constant for the last couple of years. They have stayed at 10,000. I'm trying to understand why we are unable to grow it, or we are not looking to grow it, or what is going on there.
Thanks for asking that question. I actually missed out that piece. So this GFF we relaunched Timepay. So just to give you an idea, the API business, what we have built is on the handle and the timecosmos. Okay, so this is actually called as the pay business, where we give the APIs to our merchants or payment aggregators, where the sponsor bank is Cosmos. As part of this ecosystem, it is mandatory that we should be having a PSP application in market. So it was a mandate piece due to which we actually brought that application in market. We never promoted, we never pushed it, because our focus was always this API business, the merchant business. The intent of relaunching this application in GFF was to actually scratch the surface and also see what more opportunity we can get from this if we are invested into it, if we are already that. So that's actually a cost for my API business that we cannot do away with. It's a mandate. It's something that we cannot do away. So in that case, why not relook at this application, and why not see what business opportunity this can create for the organization? Considering that Timepay mobile app was not part of the existing roadmap for the organization. So our roadmap is very clear. Where exactly we can build the IP for the organization, that is my technology partner role in bank. Where exactly we can move up the value chain, that is the API business. And the next is going to be the mobile application. So right now the app is at a CUG stage, so you may not find much traction. Neither the organization is talking a lot about it. So when we have a plan, when we have a concrete way ahead, that is the only time when we will push it further. And you will come to know about it.
Got it, sir. Thank you so much, sir. One follow-up on this one. You mentioned the API, which is @timecosmos. So I wanted to understand who are our clients and customers. Can you talk about some of them, like the names and the kind of business that they do? And also, do we make money there per transaction, or what are the financials for those kind of deals?
Yes, Sahil. So what happens is, in API business, when we give the APIs, we give it to payment aggregators and payment gateway on the bank's platform. So we play a technology API role in this particular segment. And those who are authorized to acquire merchants in market, or those who are merchants in market, those who need collection technology on UPI, or they need collection API, via which they can collect funds for the services and the goods they sell in market, or resell those things like I would say that payment aggregators and payment gateways. So these are the guys who take services from us. In order to do that, in order to manage the platform, right from the compliances, the reconciliation, the technology fees, the infrastructure, and the support system, the operations, there's a whole gamut of business that has to be built around it, and there is a cost around it. So for that, we charge our payment aggregators and merchants on a SaaS model. So it differs from account to account. So the business is basically SaaS, not like it. And I would say that those who are in merchant aggregation, there are 30 odd accounts that we have in this particular segment, including something like Paygy, EaseBuzz, or we are already in the final stage with Cashfree. So these are the guys who would be using our services. AirPay. Yeah.
Got it, sir. And sir, when it comes to the UPI product and platform that we have built a UPI switch. I think that is what is powering for 5 to 6 banks, which you have talked about in the presentation. So in terms of wanting to understand what is the major contributor of the growth for us? So is it wider adoptability of our APIs for payments? Is it the UPI switches we have built for the banks? Where is the majority of the growth coming from? And going forward also, where can it come from?
You have to look at business from 2 angles. One is the technology partner role that NBFC plays with banks. Second is technology partner role that NBFC plays with Fintech. Okay. When it comes to the value creation, I would say that our first business where we sit when we work with banks, that is extremely important because that's where we are actually owners of the processing engine. Okay, when you own a processing engine, you get the flexibility to push your business. When it comes to P&L, I think you should be looking at the API business because then we have a larger market to target. So that way you should be looking at the business.
But if you look at
let's say the revenue in
yes, if you look at the revenue in H1, for example, what could be the distribution or the division between the two or the three businesses, like which is the banking technology solution service partner versus the API for Timepay that we have built?
Ashish, you want to take this on?
Yeah, right. Bank, you can say somewhere about this is 1/3 and 2/3 between banking and this API business.
Got it. So, sir, last question from my side, sir. If we look at the kind of payment handle that we built with Cosmos, from what I remember reading in the DRHP, the revenue distribution or the agreement is something like 80% accrues to us, 20% accrues to them, or something like that. But I wanted to understand what was the intent behind building it, and like why did we not just reuse any existing payment switches or gateways, like basically, let's say HDFC, Axis, ICICI. Why did we build a new one? And also, like, what advantage does it provide us in doing the rest of the business?
Okay. Sahil, if I would have used something else, I would have paid for it, right? I wouldn't have been owning the technology, neither would I have earned money. So see, the thing is, let us understand the ecosystem very clearly. If you build the processing engine, you charge for it, right? So that's what we did. We built the processing engine, we charge for it, either on license or SaaS-based model, whatever the revenue scope is. So that's how it works. Secondly, we play a technology partner role. That means we provide the interoperability switch between NPCI and bank. Okay, so every bank who wants to be on the UPI ecosystem, they need a partner like us. Because this is not the engine which is part of their core banking. This is a separate engine altogether which connects the bank's core banking with the HPCI ecosystem. And only then they participate in the UPI applications, such as you transacting on a Canara Bank account on a Google Pay app. So you need a processing engine in Canara Bank to connect to NPCI. Only then Canara Bank will be Google Pay app. There we have our processing engine. So we have built that engine, and we are called a TSP in market. So it's a segment in itself. So being a TSP, we provide this technology to banks. When you say SDFC and all, they will also be having some technology service provider who will be sitting inside and processing this engine. So we are competitor to that TSP who is sitting inside SDFC Bank. So I can't be riding on their technology.
Got it, sir. Got it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Parikshit Kabra from PKD Advisor LLP. Please go ahead.
Hi, Deepak. Congratulations on a great set of numbers.
Thanks, Parikshit. Tell me.
Even Ashish just now mentioned that the revenue split between the two businesses continues to remain 1/3, 2/3. So I'm assuming that from the previous quarter of 24 crores to this quarter of 28 crores, the incremental revenue is also split between Evok and the new business. So that's a fair assumption?
No.
More or less, yes. But there might be some, let's say, last quarter was...
Quarter to quarter. Sorry.
Hello?
Yeah, fair. So, sir.
More or less, yes. 1/3 or 2/3, but it doesn't mean that it's absolute the same number. Last quarter might be 32, this quarter might be 32.
How much of the 4 crores extra that has come this quarter, is that mostly from the Evok business?
Pardon me, Parikshit, I'm not getting your question.
Sorry. So
Hello?
again, what I'm saying is that the growth in revenue that we have had this quarter compared to previous quarter,
Yeah.
is that coming from the Evoke business majorly? That's what I'm asking.
Majorly, yeah. Somewhere about 2/3 portion is from Evoke business only, and 1/3 is other business.
Got it. Now, one of the things that I wanted to understand, this is just to clear my understanding. I went to the NPCI website, and there they have market share of payee PSPs listed out by month. So I was looking at that number, and I noticed that the number of transactions that happened in the previous quarter by Cosmos Bank, which I'm assuming is completely via NPSC, was higher than the number of transactions that took place by Cosmos Bank in this quarter. But our revenue has still grown in the Evoke business. So would I assume that this number is more in link with the transaction value, and has the transaction values increased in that have gone through Evoke this quarter?
Parikshit, basically it depends on...
Carry on. Ashish, you want to take this up further?
Yeah. Parikshit, basically this depends upon... We are having multiple merchants. When you are checking with in NPCI website, you put the consolidated number.
Fine. So, but all the transactions that are going through Evoke will be going through Cosmos only, right? Because as of right now, Cosmos is your only sponsor bank.
Correct. Parikshit, I'll take that up. Ashish, I'll take that up. So Parikshit, see, the thing is, the entire traffic of Cosmos Bank is not Evoke traffic, no? So there will be Cosmos Bank traffic also. There will be Cosmos customer issuer traffic as well. So it has to be split around that. And secondly, when you try to match my PNL with the Cosmos Bank traffic, that will never happen, because our business is split across multiple domains. It is PSP, there are 11 banks that we are working with, and at the same time we have Evoke business coming in, and the split is like, whatever Ashish has mentioned. So that is the split available. Furthermore, the Cosmos traffic is also split across multiple areas. There is a payer traffic, there is a payee traffic. There is a merchant traffic that we have, and then they have issuer traffic. So that's not what we are going to match.
Okay, so Deepak, then my understanding, just because in the website it clearly states that this is the traffic for Cosmos as a payee PSP. Wouldn't that be only you? Because what?
So any traffic coming from Google Pay, any traffic coming from I would say your phone pay, or any traffic coming from Paytm, any traffic coming from the QR code that they have released, any traffic where Cosmos Bank has a handle, any traffic where Cosmos Bank has a beneficiary account. So everything cannot be accounted around Evoke, right?
Okay, got it. Okay, clear.
Okay.
And so this quarter, can you tell us what is the GTV that has gone through your APIs?
Ashish?
Somewhere about, Parikshit, somewhere about 1,300 crore, or between 1,300 and 1,400 crore.
So last quarter it was 4,000 crores. Is that correct?
No.
Okay, my mistake. I seem to recall in the last investor call transcript there was a 4,000 crore GTV value that was mentioned.
That will not be for a quarter.
Okay, that's not for the quarter. Got it.
No. You can relook at it.
Okay, no problem. So this was this quarter. Last quarter, can you tell me as well, Ashish?
Somewhere about 1,400, Parikshit.
Same number.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. I'll come back in the queue. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Srinivasu K, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Congratulations, Deepak and Ashish, for delivering excellent set of numbers consistently quarter-on-quarter.
Thanks.
My first question is, UPI monthly transactions have recently surpassed 10 billion milestone, and NPCI is aiming daily transactions to reach 1 billion transactions per day. So which marks almost threefold increase within next 2 to 3 years, right? This leads to a critical question: does our banks and fintechs have enough infrastructure to handle such a huge load efficiently to manage this growth? So can the NPSP product help banks and fintechs to meet this challenge?
So this is a very thanks for raising such question. I'm happy my shareholders are raising such questions here. See, let us understand the entire ecosystem, and all the participants in ecosystem are aware about this particular aspiration that the nation has, okay, and obviously NPCI has built up. Around that, everyone has to participate and build it around it. So there are certain pieces where NCST will also play a role as a TSP in the market. And there are certain pieces where NCST as an API tech partner will also play a role. So in this, when you talk about infrastructure, there will be certain innovations around it which will help banks, go through this journey. At the same time, there will be certain innovations which we will also have to go through. So, for example, UPI lines. Okay, when there is an offline methodology to transact, and we are able to look at those transactions which are under 100 rupees. So let's say your UPI line is around 200 in your app. So just imagine that if from 10 hits in your core banking, some way we are able to bring it down to just about 2 or 3, where your transactions value of about 10, 20, 100, 150 rupees are actually done offline in your light account. And it is only when that 200 rupees is exhausted, you go to CBS. So in that case, you have scaled the infra, so without even doing anything. At the same time, there is a consistent need to upgrade the technology, which we always do. And furthermore, there are few more ways to actually look at it. Instead of simply hitting core banking, now there is an opportunity around credit card. So instead of simply going to core banking, it will go to card management system. So the load will be on the UPI switch, not purely on core banking. So that is how the ecosystem is evolving. So it's not only about infrastructure, but it is also how innovatively we are trying to look at the traffic and the solution.
Thank you. The next question from my side is, so as per the annual report, NPST is processing about 8% volumes of UPI transactions, right? That is about 800 million transactions per month. So how much improvement in market share in UPI volumes can be expected from NPST for next 1 or 2 years?
So Srinivas, I want to relook at that number, because when we actually worked out a number that was based on certain calculation, but yes, we are processing huge volume. There will be an incremental impact on the API business that we have, so there the volume will increase. And as and when we acquire new bank accounts, for example, in UPI switch, so whenever we have a new business around UPI switch, that is where our contribution to this particular percentage you mentioned will increase. So State Bank of Mauritius India Limited is one account around UPI which we have acquired. When we go live with it, our contribution to this percentage will increase. When our business, or I would say traffic or bank accounts in our existing banks increase, so let's say Canara Bank accounts or Kerala Grameen Bank or Personal Bank, Karnataka, all of these banks, when their accounts increase, that is where again the traffic intake will increase. So yeah, so these are two means by which we see our contribution in ecosystem going on.
Okay, thank you. And my last question is about P2M transactions. That is where growth is happening rapidly, and our Evoke solution is actually helping the merchant, right? So what is the target we can expect from current 14 million monthly merchant transactions in say next 1 or 2 years?
I don't know how to post the numbers, future numbers here, because I don't know what are the guidelines around this. However, we have a very focused approach on having the incremental impact and multiply only by X, 2X, 2.5, 3X every year. So quarter on quarter, it may not be so visible, because I would say that there is a lot of business decisions and there are a lot of efforts around building certain accounts. So there, I would say that okay, the increase maybe maybe we may try to have around 20%, at least 20-30% or maybe more, depending on which particular business has got settled there in operation within API also, because it's not purely simple API release, it is also what set of business we are building around those APIs.
Okay. That's all. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Let me one more thing. Let me rectify my number. Parishit, I think Parishit, na? I think he has asked for quarterly numbers, and I have given for monthly numbers. He was right. Last quarter was somewhere about 4,000, and this quarter somewhere about 4,200. So let's give monthly numbers. That was the problem.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Ashish.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Anurag, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Amazing results. I just wanted to congratulate you on that. And
Thanks, Anurag.
I just wanted to understand, currently, India's vision is to take UPI global. For example, we are targeting new geographies like Sri Lanka, Nepal, even other countries. So, do we see us expanding to international transactions as well? Like, will there be any regulatory challenges out there? First, and that's the first question.
Yeah. You want to share your second question? I'll answer first and then move to the next one, right? Okay. See, in the NPCI's global charter, or I would say UPI's global charter, just consider us as being part of two ecosystems. One is being partner as a technology processing engine. Second is the API bank that we have built for the payment aggregators. Now, in both the cases, I would say that this regulatory hurdle shouldn't be a challenge, because we are purely following the NPCI roadmap around what exactly a technology partner is supposed to do when it provides services to banks or wherever the processing engine is required. So we purely follow that requirement. Secondly, from the API perspective, we follow your RBI guidelines or the guidelines around payments very clearly, wherein who exactly can consume it, where exactly it can be transacted, the KYC norms, AMA, all those. So for us, it is just following up those principles.
So basically, my question was related to regulatory challenges in terms of international agencies. Like, let's say these transactions will be happening, let's say in Sri Lanka, for example. So won't we need to register with the payment regulator out there? And won't we need to comply with their guidelines as well? Will that be a challenge? That is.
So for last 1 year, we have been trying to understand the international market. So it's not that we have not started and we have not clicked yet. Because what happens is every territory, or I would say every country, has a very different set of challenges. And what may work in one particular country may not work in another country. So again, our entry into that country, being a technology company, should not be a challenge, because it's just like someone who has built a solution is better placed to take that particular platform to another market wherever it is required. Just the way we did with wallet. The wallet was built in India, and then then they took it to Africa or multiple other countries. So as a technology partner, I see not having such hurdle only when you are operating a particular payment in ecosystem. That is where such kind of process has to be followed, or these have to be handled.
Got it. Thank you for the detailed answer. The next question is being, So I just wanted to understand the competitive scope. For example, you mentioned in an earlier event that one of our competitors holds about 60% of the market share, like by partnering up with SBI and HDFC Bank. So, and currently we have about 6 to 7 banks as per my knowledge, and we aim to increase that by 3 to 4x in the coming 1 or 2 years. So, do these banks do they not have this solution currently, or are we trying to take these clients away from other competitors by providing them better quality service or at a better price? So how are we planning to increase these number of banks that we are partnered with?
So we have to look at it from two ways. One is the time has come wherein the product has to go through certain innovations. So we cannot be simply selling the issuer and acquirer platform. So what more? So we built Quaint, which was a merchant acquiring platform some time back, and that is what we have taken to market. So we have got 3 to 4 more accounts on our merchant acquiring platform, and then we are talking to people in market. So that is where we will acquire certain business on merchant acquiring platform. Not necessarily that it will compete directly with the switch business which is existing in the market, but it will give us an entry into banks. It will give us those opportunities which we will be bringing our solution around large as well as small, medium size of banks. So that is one area that we have been focusing on, and that is what has clicked us. Secondly, wherever there are tenders, wherever there are opening around businesses being available on UPI switch, that is also where we are targeting. Just like we got one account, like I said, switch is where the maturity of market maturity has already arrived. So in that case, for us, in order to enter into those banks, it is a time-consuming process. And that is where, although we have that aspiration, but we will be looking at, what are the changes or what are the new tenders coming into this particular requirements.
Got it. Thank you, sir. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Rajiv Segal, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Am I audible?
Sir,
Yes, Rajiv. Tell me.
At the outset, I'd like to congratulate the management on an excellent set of numbers, and I wish every success to the company going forward. I have a couple of questions. My first question is, can you give us a sense of your revenue targets for FY24 and FY25?
Okay. Well, sir, I think with this half-yearly number, you might have got the sense that we are at 120% of our last year's FY23 numbers. So we have already. So last year I think it was 42, around 41 point something, and we are at 53 right now. So the good part is that we have already crossed that 100% revenue number before half yearly end. So considering this number, as an organization, our aspiration is not to go downward in our incremental trend that we are showing. So this is what exactly we may look forward in FY24 as well, as we have 2 more quarters left, and we would like to show the incremental number on every quarter that we have shown from Q1 to Q2, Q3, Q4. So this is what our FY24 numbers will look like. Secondly, for FY25, we are still working on our business strategy. We have just finished our half yearly budget, and we have been working for the March 24 strategy, so that by April we are ready for FY25. There onwards, again, since the market is exponential, I would say the numbers should, again, for an organization like this, whatever trend we have shown from FY23 to 24, we would like to continue the same trend for the next year as well. That's what our aspiration looks like.
My second question is that your half-yearly revenue from operations was about 52 crores. From how many APIs was this achieved, and what was Evok's contribution in this?
So I think Ashish has already answered that Evok's contribution was about 2/3.
That he mentioned it's about 2/3, but from how many APIs was this achieved?
Okay, I'll tell you. You should look at APIs as a set of one particular service. So I would say that there are two payment services that we are currently offering through set of 7 to 8 APIs. One is obviously where we are collecting payment via a collect API. Second is where we are collecting via QR. So both of these have contributed. So it may be a set of 7 to 8 APIs. But it should be looked at a product.
How many? Sorry, just repeat.
We have about 7 to 8 APIs.
Okay.
But you should be looking at it as a product, not as separate set of APIs that every API is contributing some revenue. It's not like that. So there are certain set of APIs which contribute to a certain revenue generated on transaction.
Right. Now in the UPI stack, your APIs have gone up from 5 to 30. So what was the resultant growth in transaction volumes due to the growth in number of APIs?
So we have mentioned that as our future roadmap to take it from 5 to 30. We have not arrived at 30 yet.
Okay, fine. So once you arrive at say 30 APIs, what transaction volumes are we looking at when we have 30 APIs in place?
So the growth factor which I told you for FY24 and 25, that will be the resultant of this particular increase in API. So that's the impact.
These 30 APIs you expect to achieve by when?
Another, maybe around 3 quarters max.
Another 3 quarters. Okay.
But see, it is going to be. I'm sorry, Rajiv. Can I hold you here? Don't count API number with the PNL. Please, I'll like to hold you here. What happens is that let us understand the business arrives from certain products that we sell. We are in the payment industry. So let's say if I have a certain market to capture on the collect API. So I will capture it. Now, in order to have an incremental impact, not from the new set of products, even from the existing set of products, I may have to increase certain services. I may have to increase certain sources of stickiness to those APIs. That is where I will have to keep working over it. So our roadmap to continuously improve our API technology is not just to have a direct incremental impact on the revenue, but also to have the stickiness as well as an incremental impact on the existing set of revenue. So that is how the business works. So there is an impact on the product offering, or there is an improvement in the product offering we do based on these set of APIs that we bring in market. Now, how it impacts the business, that I have already explained, that quarter on quarter, we see this incremental impact coming in from our existing set of clients, as well as we are able to reach out to the new set of customers. Yeah.
Right. My next question is, your mission statement says that you would like to achieve top 5 digital transactions volumes in India. By when? By which year do you expect to achieve this? And at that stage, what would your annual transactions volume be?
Sir, this is our next 5-year plan. Very straightforward.
Next 5-year plan.
And so we have, so how do we work out is our yearly plan, 3 years plan, 5 years plan. Okay. So for us, our mission will remain consistent for next 5 years. Now what happens in this case is when I say top 5, in that case, I wouldn't say that it's the number that will matter because the moment we reach there, we are probably talking about, services spread across multiple customers, multiple banks, all taken together. So in that case, who actually is holding what count of transaction or what volume of volume of transactions? That is where we will have to look at the number. So for now, I would say that this is already factored in our 3 years and 5 years strategy. So number, I would say that if we are currently sitting at, let's say, 0.15% of total API volume, maybe 0.1% odd. So we would like to have at least, a good market share of at least 20x from here on. So how do we arrive at that 20x? That's the mission that we want to achieve.
Right. Got a sense. Now, NPSC is currently processing 3.9 million UPI transactions daily for banks. What will this number be in the next financial year, FY25? What do you expect it to be? Currently, you're doing about 3.9 million UPI transactions daily.
Sir, this will grow because it is part of my DSP business, this will grow as per the industry growth. So if the industry is growing at 1.1x, this 3.9 will also grow at 1.1x. So when it grew from about 5 billion to 10 billion, that is the journey where we have gone up to 3.9. Sorry, it's not 3.9 million. What is the number you mentioned? Sorry. Yeah, 3.9 million per day, right? What is the number you are giving? 39 million. 4 crore. 4 crore per day.
Right.
That's the volume processed. Yeah. 4 crore per day. Yeah. So it is going to be the UPI trend that it will follow. UPI growth trend.
Sorry, in your latest presentation, I picked up this figure. From there, you're talking of 3.9 million UPI transactions daily for banks. So my question was, what is this number likely to be in the next financial year? So you're saying you're linking it.
Sir, if the next financial year, if next financial year UPI trend is growing at 2x, then this should be multiplied by 2.
What is the industry growth expected? Can you give a sense?
The next 2 years, we are expecting about 30 billion transactions per month from 10 billion here onwards.
Okay. And currently, you're processing 1.4 million monthly merchant transactions on EVOC. What is this number likely to be in FY25 next year?
So we are targeting 2.5x from here onwards.
Sorry?
2.5x from here onwards.
Okay.
2 to 2.5x.
My last question is that at the AGM, I had raised this question on bonus issue. Now your free reserves and surplus are 5 times the share capital. And at the AGM, it was mentioned that we are thinking about this very strongly and will be coming back very soon on the conclusion. Any thoughts on this?
It's already in discussion.
Yeah.
It's already in discussion. I think we are taking care of some compliance. Maybe before December we'll get the news.
Thank you. That's all from me. Thank you for answering my query.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Aditya Mota, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, you're audible. Yeah.
Sir, congratulations on a good set of numbers.
Thanks.
In your opening remarks, you said you are trying to increase the horizon of your company. So how exactly are we doing it? How exactly are we seeing our growth, different growth areas, and where exactly we can put a leg into and grow into those areas?
So Aditya, we have been extremely fair and transparent with our shareholders, and that's why, the kind of questions coming in right now, I think that should be something where you should pick up from. we clearly mentioned about our strategy about horizontal and vertical growth. So when I say new horizon, it will come from two angles. One is, what is our product strategy? What is the product roadmap that we have built as an organization? So is it only UPI or there are possibilities beyond UPI as well? So the moment we start focusing on those products, it increases our horizon across the banking segment. And in fact, those who will be consuming the processing engine. Maybe today it is just banks. Tomorrow, if at all, let's say this is a requirement by PABG, or if it is a requirement coming in from maybe NBFC sector. So in that case, we will have the ready product with us. So that is horizontal. Again, Rajiv ji asked questions on API. So that is also something which I very clearly explained how this API growth should be looked at. So the moment we start building those APIs, obviously the stickiness, the growth around the business that we have from the existing customer and the new customers, everything increases. So that is how we are trying to target the market from our product strategy. Second is, when we look at the business, we are today looking at banks and payment aggregators. Is there a segment beyond this that we can service? So it increases our target audience. So how do we reach out to those target audience? What is the mix of solutions that we have? So that is how the organization thinks. And we have very clearly mentioned this on our annual report. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. And what are your plans on listing on the main board?
I think there are certain regulatory requirements. Ashish, you want to take this up?
Yeah. Aditya, there is three requirements. One is company should be at least complete 3 years.
Acha, okay.
Second one is there is, I think, minimum 1,000 shareholder. And third one is, if I'm not wrong, reserve should not be less than 25 crores. So we will complete our 3 years in August 2024. So only after that we can plan for shifting from this SMA to main board.
Wow, great. Thanks. That's it from my side. And congratulations on a very good set of numbers and good cash flow generation. Thanks.
Thanks.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Harish Kumar Gupta, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
हेलो सर, मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है कि जैसा आप बोल रहे हैं कि फाइनेंशियल ईयर 25 में भी सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ ग्रोथ हम देख पाएंगे, तो जैसे अगर इसको मैं एक्सट्रापोलेट करूं इस हाफ ईयरली नंबर को, तो आई थिंक समवेयर वी मे एंड अप अराउंड डूइंग 120 करोड़ ऑफ रेवेन्यू, तो ऑलमोस्ट 3 times ऑफ व्हाट लास्ट ईयर वी हैव अचीव्ड. So next year because it will be higher base, so still we can hope like 3 times kind of revenue, or it will be 2 times, like around 2 times or later. And my another question will be that what is our targets over the next 5 years in terms of revenue and profitability?
Thanks. I think thanks for asking that question, Harish ji, because I believe the kind of flow of question and answer that goes on, there is quite a mix-up happening. Thanks for bringing it up. So you rightly calculated our aspiration for FY24. That's done. Okay. FY25 के लिए when you take a higher base, obviously that's not what FY23 to 24 will follow in 25. But the growth around quarterly numbers that we were trying to share with the number, what I'm trying to give you an idea about how exactly we are going from Q1 to Q2 and here onwards. So if we have achieved about 120% of last year's revenue in half yearly one, and then we have 2 more quarters left, so you will be able to arrive at FY24. But here onwards, then from 24 to 25 will be again this year onwards. It will not be last year onwards. FY23 से 25 मत दीजिए, 24 से 25. So that is how you should be looking at the growth options. I mean, numbers इस तरह से देखना चाहिए. Ashish, you want to add something or how is it?
No, it's perfectly fine. Actually, last year we have added our second business line in September 2022. उसके बाद ही exponential growth था. we cannot, I don't think so you have to calculate on that basis that this year we'll achieve 120 and next year it should be 3 or 4 times. I think it is not an ideal scenario. You can check on quarter basis what we are achieving.
Okay. Okay. So in next 5 years, if I rephrase my question, so can we achieve around 50% CAGR in next 5 years, or it will be long period?
It's too early to give that number. Like I said, that we work on short term, then 3 years, and then 5 years. We have set our vision very clear. We want to achieve that top 5 position. उसको achieve करने के लिए where we arrive, I think it can be whatever number that you are giving, or it can be less or even more, because the market is getting disruptive. The opportunities are opening every day. There are new products being launched for the Indian consumers as well as global consumers. There are new products merging into the existing ecosystem, like credit card coming into UPI or cross-border transactions around UPI, or I would say that a new product line around CBDC, central bank digital currency, e-rupee की बात चल रही है. So it can only be predicted maybe year on year. So good to have that number, no doubt about it, and we don't want to stop at or we don't want to slow down our growth. That's for sure.
ओके बट आप ये तो कॉन्फिडेंटली बोल सकते हैं कि नेक्स्ट 5 इयर्स में हम क्वार्टर ऑन क्वार्टर ग्रोथ तो होनी चाहिए एटलीस्ट.
काम तो वही कर रहे हैं.
I think there is a good growth potential. But we have to, I think bandwidth is a deciding factor if I'm not wrong. And as an organization, we are trying to build a management team to cater all these things. So therefore, I don't think so there is a challenge on quarter growth, but we have to identify किस level का growth होगा. That is more important.
Yeah, that's okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
The next question is from the line of Sanika Khemani from Crown Capital. Please go ahead.
Congratulations, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So my first question was actually 14 to 15%.
Sanika, you're not very clear. Can you just repeat?
Am I?
Sanika, you're not audible. Can you please switch to the handset? Sanika, ma'am?
Is it fine now?
Ma'am, your voice is not audible.
It's very low and somewhere it is breaking also. So if you can come either to a better network or switch to your handset.
Is it fine now?
Better.
Hello? Yeah. So actually I wanted to, like we've been growing at 14 to 15% on a quarter-on-quarter basis. So are we still looking at that kind of a growth? And my second question is, do we have any seasonality in the revenues, like on a quarter-on-quarter basis?
So we haven't seen seasonality because the payment requirement is year round. We haven't acquired such a big market share, or we haven't arrived wherein the festive season impact can be seen for now. Okay, but that seasonality impact will come as and when we have maybe larger market share, maybe as and when we grow in a couple of years. So this kind of impact, the kind of sale happening around, Amazon, Flipkart, or I would say all of these online businesses in Q3 or I think Q3 October, November, December में जो होता है. At the same time, the kind of transaction that increases around World Cup or the transaction. So आप ये समझ लीजिए कि whenever there is a transactional impact, there is a seasonal impact. So it can be a boost to the organization. However, we are not at that stage wherein it impacts us, because our territory, our number is very less, very, very less. Okay. Second, I think I'll answer your first question. Yes, we are working towards achieving the consistent growth every quarter. So whatever number you have mentioned, we intend to achieve those numbers or try to better ourselves every time we work around the quarterly strategy.
Okay. And just a follow-up question. Like you said, whenever we increase the market share, that time our seasonality factor will come in, right? So, if you can just give us that number, like what kind of a market share should that be?
We have not arrived there, Sanika, because at what number? For example, if our portfolio around e-com increases heavily, okay, then there can be this factor coming in. If our portfolio around skill gaming increases extremely heavy, then this factor will come into picture. So we have not yet arrived wherein we are consuming a huge set of numbers in market which will give this impact. So too early to say that. We have not encountered it yet.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the last question for today. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Gopal Chandak sir for closing comment.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for joining the conference call of Network People Services Technology Limited conference call. If you have any query, you can write us at info@research advisors. Thank you everyone for joining the conference call.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone.
On behalf of Kirin Advisor, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.